Hello everyone, welcome to Ajiro Tech. Ajiro Tech. So in this video, we're looking at the CIE, IGCSE Information and Communication Technology. The course code is 04117 variant 31. We'll be looking at the website authoring. In my previous video, we've looked at the spreadsheet. So if you've not watched it, please, you really want to check it out. Okay. We're looking at May, June 2023, the paper that was released a few days ago as of the time of this recording. Now, the instructions here are very, very important. Please note that it's 2 hours 15 minutes, so you have to be done with everything within 2 hours 15 minutes, as before when you have 2 hours 30 minutes, okay? Instructions, like I said, are very, very important. Please go through the instructions before proceeding for your exam, especially when they talk about the printout with handwritten candidate details will not be marked. Please, it has to be typed electronically, right? And of course, at the end of the exam, you put all your printouts into what you call your assessment record folder. Total mark for this paper is 70. Please take note of that. Now we'll begin. Now, before we do that, I just want to quickly introduce you to my YouTube channel called Ajiro Tech. It's right here. So please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please, you might want to do that. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also share it with a friend or to your classmate, okay? Trust me, you'll be doing it the best favor in preparation for their IGCSE ICT study. So please, if you've not done that, please just hit on the subscribe button and then share to a friend. Okay, let's get down to business. All right, you've been supplied with the following source files. So this is not really what we want. And we have done the evidence document in our previous video. We'll just head down straight to the spreadsheet part. Task 3. So task 2, we have the web page. You're working as part of a team of web developers at Tower Web and have been asked to create part of a web page for a client. Create CSS to be added to an external style sheet to meet this specification. So we're to create a CSS to be added to an external style sheet to meet this specification. So let's open the source file. Okay, now in the source file, we only have for the spreadsheet, so it means we're creating everything from scratch, okay? It says set the font for H1, H2, H3, and the paragraph style so that the browser selects and display the font Calibri, and the font is, and if this font is not available, the browser selects and display the font Havitical Null. If neither of these font is available, the browser should display its default sans serif font. Now take note of the heading. We have 6 of them, H1 to H6, and the paragraph style is denoted with a P. Okay, the P tag. Okay, now what we're going to do is this. Okay, we're going to use what we call a software, a program to actually create our CSS. Okay, and we have lots of them. Okay, lots of these website authoring programs that can aid you. Okay, text editors. Okay, that will also help you to actually do that. So what we'll be using in this video is what I've been using over the course of my videos, which is the Microsoft Expression Web 4. Okay, now just to show you a little bit about CSS, we have what we call the web development layer, and you see this in the last chapter of your textbook called website authoring, and right here the web development layer, okay, where it talks about what is a website, what is a web page, and in that web page we have 3 layers: the content layer, okay, also known as the structure layer, we have the presentation layer, and we have the behavior layer, or the scripting layer, as you might want to call it. Now in the presentation layer, this is very, very important because this is where the visual impact of the web page is created, right, and contains the styles to be used. Okay, and you will develop the presentation layer of your web page using what we call the CSS, and CSS simply means cascading style sheet. We have inline CSS, we have internal CSS, we have external CSS. The one we are creating, however, is an external CSS where we are creating it separately without the use of any form of include any form of HTML. Okay, all right, so let's get this done. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to click here and search for my web, Microsoft Expression Web 4. Please let me know in the comment section if you don't have this, so that I can just send you a Google Drive link that contains a direct download link for it, or you could search it online and then you could get it downloaded. So whichever one. Okay, so I'm going to open it right now, and I have this here. I'm going to cancel this. Then I'm going to click on File, click on New, then File, New, and then File, New, and move to CSS. Okay. Then I'm going to click on File. Notice that the extension now is not .css. I'm going to click on File, click on Save As. Okay. Now I'm going to look for the directory or the folder where my source file is, and it's in Document. Okay. My feelers is here. 2023. Look for 2023. Okay, right here. Variant 31. Okay, so I'm just going to create this. Now, what name am I going to give to this? I'm just give this. I'm just going to copy this. This is Tower Web. Copy this. Change this to, don't leave it the web page because that will obviously make it up. Change it to a CSS file. Okay, then click on save. So we have this. Now let's go back to the question. So we have to create a font for H1, H2, H3, and the paragraph style is P. So let's do that. Now what we're going to use here is, right here you see manage styles, and we're going to click on new styles. Now, just in case you're watching this with me, you're watching with a friend and you're trying to practice along, and for some reason you cannot be able to find this, okay, please don't panic. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Don't panic. I will show you how to get it. Okay, so as you may close it and you have something like this, so what you do is you go to panels. Okay, go to panels, and then you see right here manage styles. Okay, so when you click on manage styles, there you have it here. Okay, so I'm going to click on new styles, and under the selector section, right, I'm going to delete this, including the dot, because it's not a class, and then I'll type H1, which means heading 1, comma, space H2, comma, space H3, comma, space P. Now the reason why we're doing this is because we're trying to make our styling most efficient. Instead of doing it differently for H1, H2, H3, and P, we can put all of them together and give it the same properties, and it's still going to work, especially if the properties are similar. Okay, all right. So they said font, so that will be font family. So what I'm going to do right now is this. I'm going to look at the font, Calibri, Havatico, and the default sans serif, and then I'm going to go through the preset. Okay, preset. This is the beauty about using the Microsoft Expression Web 4, and yes, it is allowed in IGCSE ICT examinations, because we have Adobe Dreamweaver, we have Visual Studio, a lot of them. Okay, so it's still part of the coding, your text editors. Okay, just that the only difference is this gives you some preset templates that you could actually work with, which is totally within the scope. It's not examination malpractice, it's totally within the scope of the examination, part of the softwares that you can use for website authoring. Okay, all right, so I'm going to look at it. Which one do I have? I think I have this, so I'm going to work with this. And now the only thing I'm going to do here is to change the area to Calibri, then add the no Havatico right here. All right, and once I'm done with this, I'm going to click on apply. Now it shows you a description of this, right, and gives you a preview. I'm going to click on OK, and I'm going to click on file. I'm going to click on save. So let's go down. I say place a copy of your CSS in your evidence document. So we're going to place a copy. We'll take a screenshot and place this in our evidence document. So let's do that. So I'm going to get my snipping tool, click on new, and then I can take the screenshot. Okay, so I'm going to open my evidence document right now, which we have created in the spreadsheet video. Okay, I'm going to paste this here. Now this is okay, but I'm going to click on picture format and then increase the width, the shape width, while maintaining aspect ratio. Okay, I'm going to save. All right, let's go ahead. Create all the head sections of a web page to meet this specification. Now I want to explain something here. Notice that this is in double quote. The reason why it's in double quote is because there are two words and the double quote is going to see it as a one. If you don't put it as a double quote, you're seeing it as two different font. That's the reason why this is in double quote. Okay, just to explain every little bit of details in what I'm doing right here. Okay, all right. So now we're going to create all this in the head section of a web page to meet this specification. The title for this web page is weather data. Okay, and these are the meta tags that we are going to use, and the default target window to be blank. All right, so let's do that. So whatever we're doing right here is on the head section of the web page. So we have the head and we have the body. Okay, so I'm going to click on file, click on new, and I'm going to create a HTML. Okay, so now we've created the HTML. I'm going to save it. Click on file, click on save as. I'm going to save it still as Tower Web, because this is now the HTML, this is the CSS. Okay, and you can leave it as a web page because you want it as a HTML. Okay, all right. Now notice that you'll be seeing something like public 1 point. This is an old version, so you don't want this because obviously, especially with the meta tags, they might not be working, so you want to remove them. So I'm going to remove them, take them off. So idoc type, what is the document type? HTML, and the XML, I'm also going to remove it. Okay, so I have this, right? I have my HTML heading section. You have to close the heading sections, and in the heading sections we have the meta, we have the title, we have the styles. Okay, very important. Even the scripting can be there as well, so please take note of that. We have the body, and then you close the body. In the body you have your tables, etc, etc, and then once you're done with everything, you close the HTML. This is the template for creating your web page. Okay, now let's get to this. Now the title for the web page is weather data. So this is what you're going to do. This falls under what we call the title. Okay, it falls under what we call the title. You could do that in the title, or right here in the design view, you could right click and go to page properties, and right here you see the title here, and you can change that to weather data. Going to paste it. Please note that in your exam you will not be having an electronic copy, it's physical copy, so it simply means that you will have to type in everything yourself. No copy and paste. Okay, I'm going to click on OK, and if you go to the code view, you see that that has been changed. Okay, I just want to show you the two options you have. You can actually do it here. I prefer the code view, okay, but just in case, you can also do that in the design view as well. Meta tags. Set the character coding to ISO 8859-1. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this character code. That means character set. Okay, character set. So the meta tag for this is going to be this. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to show you how to do this. So this is how you can get this done. Okay, now I'm going to take this off. Okay, and put this here, and then start my tag. So meta. Now the beauty about this is going to show you what you're trying to type. So I have my meta here. Double click on it, space. Now what else are you trying to do? I want a character set. Okay, character set of what? Then I'm going to paste this. Okay, that is what I want, and I can close this. And with that, you're done. Moving on to the next one. Set the name of the author to Tower Web, followed by a space, then your name. So I'm going to copy this. Okay, then I'm going to do this. So I have meta, and then I have name. So what's the name? The name is going to be author. Okay, it's going to be author because I said in the question, it said the name of the author to set name of the author to Tower, followed by what? A space, then your name. Okay, so the structure is, in cases like that, we have the meta, name, and then we have the content. Okay, so we have this. So the content is now going to be Tower Web. Okay, then your name. Case is child ND. Just want to be sure. Followed by a space, then your name. All right. So I'm going to close this. The next one is what? Set the web page description to weather data for Tower region. I'm going to copy this. So this is going to be meta name, and the name for this is going to be what? Description. Okay, description, because you want to describe what are you describing, so you have to give a name for it. And then the content. Now the content is going to be what we have just copied, weather data for what? The Tower region. Very, very important. So let's take note of that. Moving on. Okay, I have not closed this. I have to close it. All right. The next one is set the viewport to the width of the device being used with an initial scaling of 2. The viewport. Okay, so let's look at the viewport. So I have my meta name, I have my viewport. Okay, so let's look at the viewport. Now it all depends on the device, but we have a syntax for the viewport. So we have content, okay, and then we have what we call the width, okay, equals to device width. Okay, and then we have comma, space, we have initial, a dash, scale. So we have the width, which is the device width, and then we have the initial scale. What is the initial scale? Let's check. Let's say with an initial scaling of 2. So I have initial scaling equals to 2.0. You have to make it a decimal, 2.0. Okay. All right. All right, let's look at the next one. Set two appropriate meta tag keywords for use by search engines for this page. Okay, so let's do that. So this would be another meta tag. Name, keywords. The content is going to be what? So let's look at the keywords here. Let's go through this. I have work as a part of the team at the tower. I have tower. What else? I have weather. Okay, I have weather. All right. Okay, so I have Tawara. Okay, comma. I have weather. Okay. Set the default target window to _blank if a new web page is open from within this web page. Okay, so we have like new, we have self, we have blank. Okay, so we're setting default target window to blank if a new web page is open from within the web page. Now to do this, what you can do is, we have a base. Now there are two ways to do it. You can write the code, which is your base, and then what is the target? The target is equals to what? _blank, or you go to design, right click on it, go to page properties, right here on the default target frame, click here. You can look for, this is a new window. Yes, for a new window. If it's going to be open in a new window, they said if a new web page is open from within this web page. Okay, so I have this. I will click on OK, and then click on OK, and then if you go to your code view, you can see that that has been done. You have your base, target, and in quotes, then you have your _blank. Place a copy of your HTML source in your evidence document. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to click on File. I'm going to click on Save. And I'm going to do that. Now, let's go back to, it said, create all the head section of your web page, okay, to meet this specification. So you're just looking for the head section. There's no need for the body, okay, because we didn't do anything on the body. Okay, so I can just take the body off. All right, so I will take a screenshot of this. All right, click on Save, and I'm going to take a screenshot, File, and Save. Let me see. Place a copy. I'm just going to copy it. Okay. Okay. Write it. Onboard it. Remove the space after paragraph. Okay. That's Control Enter to get to a new page. I want to be sure this is, I'm just going to make it 16 just to be safe. Yes, I think this is better. All right. With this, we are done with this paper. I think it's really easy, really. I think the only focus here was just the meta tag, which might be confusing for some students. But now I've been able to explain what each of them means, the character set, the name and content. I think the most The only one that might be a little bit challenging is the viewport, because you need to know that the name is the viewport, and then the content will be what? The width. What was the width, which is what the device width, and then initial scaling, what's the scaling, which they give you here, which is 2, which means 2.0. Okay, so thank you very much. I think that's all. The next thing is printing the evidence document. Now let's print the evidence document. Now to do this, I don't have evidence 4, so I'm going to take up evidence 4. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to print this. Save. Click on File. Click on Print. Please endeavor to print all your evidence documents in PDF. All your printouts, include your evidence document, to PDF. Okay, you want to know how it looks like before you eventually send it to the printer. Okay, don't make the mistake of just sending it directly to paper. Print it electronically. Look at it, ensure that everything is okay by you before you send it to the printer. Okay, so that the printer you're going to use, okay, before you send it to the printer is Microsoft Print to PDF, and you have it installed already on your laptop. Okay, so I'll click on Print, and I'm going to save it on the source file. Okay, I think this is it. Yeah, 2023. All right, so this is going to be my printout 4. And then again, we get to check how it looks like before you send it to the printer. Okay, very important. You get to check if everything is okay, and you've placed a copy of this, and you've taken a screenshot of this. So everything looks good. Okay, the head section is there. The head has been closed. Okay, there was space here. Okay, let me see. It's fine. Save it. I can just do it like this. Just want to close the heading, so it's okay. I think this is better for me. I'm going to save it. Click on File, Print. Print it on printer 4. Okay, and then I can. Okay, so everything looks good. Okay, so yes, with this we are done with this paper. Please don't forget to share and subscribe to my YouTube channel for amazing IGCSE videos on paper 1 ICT, on paper 1, paper 2, and paper 3. Trust me, this YouTube channel is loaded with lots of IGCSE ICT videos that will help you during your self-study. Maybe you're having confusion in classes. This is just a lounge you can just go to learn more and get to know, to learn more in depth, and then with the aid of your teacher, you get to explore and then have your Insta. Lots of students have gone to these YouTube channels, to this my YouTube channel, and they've produced amazing results. I'm talking about Insta, I'm talking about A, so you can be the next. Okay, so subscribe, share with a friend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.